Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. I woke up today and I couldn't find my inside cat, Orangey, aka Jonesy. I thought I heard a cat crying outside all night, but I figured it was just a street cat, not one of my inside kitties. Another insider, Autistic Peach, tried to warn me. She was crying outside my bedroom door all night. Peach once saved me and all the other cats when I let this crazy guy stay over once a couple years ago, and he filled up my entire apartment with smoke. Me and the kitties barely made it through. Luckily, this morning, I found Orangey on the back porch, the back lanai. He was balancing on the edge, looking down 4 stories up. Orangey was happy to see me. He basically jumped in my arms, and I quickly brought him inside, shutting the door behind me. Orangey is the prettiest orange tabby. Hawaii is full of orange tabby cats, but Orangey is something special. It looks like he has wings on his shoulder and a G written on the side, the way God made his fur. When Orangey first appeared at my colony, he had a little kitten with him. They were inseparable, but the kitten disappeared and Orangey became sad and despondent, so I brought Orangey inside. A short time after that, I knew he was going to be long-term kitty. Orangey and little Ricky get along great. They're good friends. For some reason, big orange cats, I've noticed, are great with kittens. I've been going live with the street cats at 4:20 a.m. every day, but the nice flashlight my friend Melissa bought me, the button broke, so I might still be able to rig it to stay on, but either way, I'm still going live every day at 4:20. Soon the sun will start coming out at 6 a.m., and then this summer, it'll start coming out as early as 5:30 a.m. By that time, I'll probably have a new flashlight. I notice most of the people who watch my live streams, according to the statistics, are not actually following me. I would assume they're just new viewers who haven't ever seen me before, don't know who I am. They're just scrolling through TikTok at 4:20 a.m. Hawaii time, and they come across me surrounded by a bunch of street cats. If that's not must-see TV, then I don't know what is. Speaking of must-see TV, my favorite television show 35 years ago first aired on ABC, The Wonder Years, starring Fred Savage, came out when I was about 7 or 8 years old, but it quickly became my favorite show, and it obviously left an impression on me. One of the best things about The Wonder Years was how well written it was, using an adult narrator and a prolonged flashback to tell the story about what happened to the main character decades earlier. I see some of these voiceover narrations in my own current work. Another thing that made the show great was its great taste in music. The show was broadcast in the late 80s, early 90s, but the music came out from the 60s and late 70s. And the songs, choices, how they were used to tell the story, some of the best television ever made. Each episode of The Wonder Years was good enough to stand alone as a short story. Each episode had its own particular theme and lesson. They didn't use the cheap cliffhanger trick that so many shows use today. When you watch that week's episode of The Wonder Years, it wasn't because last week's show left you hanging. You sit down, you watch a well-crafted, wholesome story that has a beginning, middle, and end. And it's centered around growing up in a middle-class suburb, something a lot of us can relate to. The protagonist looks back at his life and the people and events that shaped and changed him, then that left the most of an impression on him. As a writer, I do that every day. My name is Gregory Brandt. Thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow for a new episode. Aloha. What would you do?